What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? You are tuned in to the ArrowHead Chief Podcast, episode 187, Chiefs Offseason. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon, whether you're at work, whether you're at home, whatever you're doing. Hope you're having a good day. We got the gang fully in here today. We got Ty, we got Clarence in here. And we got a lot to speak on, man, about Chiefs Kingdom, man. So let's talk Chiefs.
Yeah, Arrowhead Chiefs. It's your girl, Miss Nicole. Queen of Hustle, baby. Started from the bottom, now we here. My homie at the start of his career. Let's go. Try to warn him early, hear the truth. Tune in every Sunday for the juice. Arrowhead Chief Podcast, bringing all the news. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Quick style. Out here rapping for the crew. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube. If you missed the play, come back for reviews. Post game highlights, go subscribe on YouTube.
And we are back, Arrowhead Chief Podcast 187. Clarence,
What
how
up?
you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's a beautiful Monday. It's raining. It's raining its ass off.
It's hot as hell out here, so we need some
I'd
rain.
rather be there, but I digress.
And Ty's back, y'all.
Back
What's
with
up,
the
Ty?
game, ready to go.
Dudes in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, fellas. I wanted us to talk about each side of the ball. This week, I wanted us to talk about the defense. So I gave you guys individual positions on the defense to talk about. I'm going to talk about the linebackers. Ty will talk about the secondary. Clarence, you talk about the defensive line. You know what I'm saying? So let's do this Chiefs breakdown. So, Clarence, I'm going to let you go first with the defensive line.
Well, I mean, it starts at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? And Beach wasn't being cheap. Got Chris Jones re-signed. I mean, it's business as usual, or at least it should be. You know what I'm saying? You keep a Mike Dana who, I mean, what he does along that front is incredible. And the way that Spags uses everybody, from Chris being on the edge to him working inside, like every piece is interchangeable along that defensive line. So, I mean, I've heard some people, and it's crazy because like you hear these offseason predictions and what guys should have and all this shit, and it's like, collectively as a unit, would everybody be happy if Chris Jones just had 10.5, 11 sacks? Yeah. If George had 10.5, yeah. Charles O comes back and he's 7 to 10, yeah. Chris Jones got paid what he should have got paid more. He's no different than an Aaron Donald. I don't give a damn what you say. He's a grown man, and for his size to be able to move the way that he moves, he deserves it because he's just as impactful, right? But yeah, man, like the question mark is the guys that didn't get a lot of reps over the last 2 years. You know what I mean? To actually see what they can do, which I know that's the question mark going into training camp along that defensive front is, can these young guys make that transition to the pros? Are they going to be able to get off the ball and get pressure and act like they know what they're doing? Maybe you find one guy, maybe you find two guys to add to that rotation. But I think as long as you find at least one solid one of these young kids to stick, along with everybody else that we know that'll be there, yeah, I think we'll be in great shape, man.
What are your thoughts on FAU this season?
That's what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? You find one guy that consistently, stick and actually get into the rotation and be an impact guy. It remains to be seen, right? Because I mean, we don't see it. Like this year is a tale for a lot of youth along that defense. You know what I mean? It's a huge tale. You know what I mean? And that's why you go out and you grab some of the things you grabbed on offense. You know what I mean? Because it has to be picked up somewhere. What you're losing on defense.
Right.
Who do you see starting next to Chris Jones this year?
That's tough. I mean, because when you go to that nickel package, I mean, it looks different. Like you'll have George and Charles on the edge, you have Dana in the middle with Chris Jones. Then sometimes it flip flops. I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, we know what's always been there, but it never stays the same. Like Turk, I mean, yeah, he's in that rotation. You know what I mean? But nobody is playing 3 downs
No.
in Spags' system anymore. Like
Right.
everybody's moving in and out, in and out. It's from one down to the next. You know what I'm saying? You'll see 3 new guys on one, and then you'll see 2 new guys, then you'll see 1 guy. And I mean, it's just constant evolution and revolving door along that. It never stays consistent. It's always fresh from one down to the next.
What's your expectations as far as George Karlaftis? Do you think he takes that next step up, or do you think this is who he is?
This would be what, year 3?
Yeah, because the next step would be, I mean, he had 10.5 sacks. So the next step would be like a 14, 15 sack guy.
I mean, the capability is there, but okay, so if I would have to say, then yes, because that obviously would be the next step.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I would be okay with him getting 10.5, 11 sacks again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I don't think, aside from Chris being as dominant as he is, like we won't see like somebody just run away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Potentially until Chris is gone, like until somebody else is like stepping up and planting their flag and saying, "This is my room." You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a team effort. So you may see 10 from one guy, 12 from another guy, 11.5, 9.5, 7.5. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just going to be a collection thing, especially with Chris getting up there in age. Like I don't see 17, 18 sacks from Chris no more. But you don't need that from me.
You don't. I do think that this season it's possible. I think that he's going to be highly motivated, especially since he got the contract that he wanted, and he's coming in for the 3-peat. So I think he has that on his mind this year. Now going forward after that, we'll see. But I think this year you could see a huge season.
But does 3-peat? Okay, so if it's 3-peat. What's more important? 14 sacks, 15 sacks, 16 sacks, or everybody being relatively healthy as possible throughout 17 weeks to get into the postseason to actually make a legit run at 3 in a row?
I mean, of course, the latter is more important, of course. But I think that both can happen. I think that Chris can still like play at a high level.
Well, I mean, they are everybody's daddy, bro. Like,
I'm just saying, like, you know, he can still play at a high level because we're gonna need him to play at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like he's one of the kings he's the king on that side of the ball. Like everything goes through Chris Jones. Like when offensive coordinators scheme, where's Chris Jones at? You know what I'm saying? Then it trickles down from where's maybe Charles or Miniu, George Karlaftis, Trent McDuffie. Like it probably trickles down like that. So I think Chris can have a huge season and still have 3-peat on his mind. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm with you, Clarence. Like if he gets 12, 13 sacks, but he's healthy at the end of the season, and we're still in position to be a number 1 seed, by all means, ain't nobody's going to complain.
But they've already shown that those things aren't needed. Listen, okay, for personal reasons, like guys can want to get all pros and Pro Bowls and all this fanciful nice shit. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it's just about staying healthy, get to the postseason, and make a legit run at this 3 in a row.
Mhm.
That's it. I mean, because we talked about this before. Like listen. Cincinnati Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Dallas Cowboys, the Buffalo Bills, Miami Dolphins. I can go on and on and on. Y'all had y'all opportunity. Y'all suck. Y'all suck for a reason. Patrick Mahomes is y'all daddy. And at the top of the mountain is the Kansas City Chiefs. At the top, you had your chance. So attrition is their opponent this year, not you.
Right.
Attrition.
Yeah.
You are not their opponent. Because it doesn't matter if they're the 1st seed or the 3rd seed or the 6th seed. He will come into your house. He will put his feet on your couch. He will go in your refrigerator and put his drawers in your dresser.
Damn.
It does not matter. I'm done.
I agree with
Ooh,
you.
look at that rain.
I agree with you. Well, all right, for sure, man. I'm excited about this defensive line, man. Like I said, they brought everybody back mostly. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how long it takes for Charles Omenihu to get back.
Yeah.
I imagine that he'll be at least on the PUP list starting the season.
Yeah.
If you know, unless he just has that miraculous comeback. You know what I'm saying? But he'll pee in your bed. Shut up, Joe.
That too.
No, but I agree. I agree with you. All right, Ty. Secondary, man. What you got for us?
Yeah, before I get into that, I just want to answer something about the interior of the defensive line. It is pretty thin outside of Chris Jones. Obviously, I know he brought back Turk Wharton, but why not rotate Charles into that middle, into that spot? When we signed Charles, we talked about that a lot last year. I guess it just really wasn't needed last season, but it might be needed more this season. So I can see Charles sliding in there for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Charles has that versatility where he can go inside
Right.
and out. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris has learned to do, because the first year when they tried to put him outside, he wasn't used to it, but he's gotten used to it now. So you see it that Spags sometimes will put Chris on the outside and put George and Mike Dana on the inside, and they'll just, that's what the Chiefs want on both sides of the ball. They
Especially
want versatility.
on a 3rd down.
Yeah, they want versatility. They want guys who could play multiple positions. So that's what makes this defensive line so unique. So, but go ahead, Ty.
But yeah, as for the secondary, it's loaded up again. Obviously, you lost Snead, but you still got McDuffie. I think he's going to take an even bigger step this year into being an All-Pro corner, which he really should have been last year. But obviously you got him, and then you got Josh Williams still on the roster, Jalen Watson still out there. You brought in some. Did they draft any corners? I know they
drafted a guy in the 6th round. His name is Kamal Hadden from Tennessee.
Right. Yeah, Kamal Hadden. That's a good pick because we've seen them develop these late round corners. Snead was a 4th round pick, moved from safety to corner. So I just trust the development of that corner room. So I don't really necessarily think you need to go out and bring in a guy. Like earlier in the offseason, I was saying maybe you bring in Stephon Gilmore. I don't think that's needed right now. When you look at how stacked this room is, in the safeties too. I mean, the safety room is stacked. You got Shamari Carter, who had a really good postseason last year, especially towards the end of that postseason was really coming on. And then obviously Justin Reed still being in that room, providing a lot for you in the box, playing close to the line of scrimmage. Yeah, I expect the secondary to be exactly what it was last year, especially if that defensive line. I think that plays hand in hand with the young secondary, because the secondary is still very young. McDuffie's going to be going into his 3rd year. A lot of these guys are going into their 3rd year, so it's still a very young secondary. I think it's going to count a lot on that defensive line getting early pressure, and if that happens, I expect this secondary to not really take a step back, even though you lost a good player like Snead.
What is your expectation? Who will start opposite of Trent McDuffie at that cornerback 2 spot?
On the outside, I'm gonna put Josh Williams out there.
Okay. You like Williams over Watson?
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit more size. 6'3". He's pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Josh Williams on the
So
outside.
let me ask you this: when they go in the nickel, do you think Trent stays in the slot and they put Williams on one side, Watson on the other?
I wouldn't be
I think
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's the
I think it depended. I also think it's dependent on where the number one receiver is coming out of. Like if we play in the Bengals and Jamar Chase is coming out of the slot, I think they put Trent on him, and then T. Higgins and whoever else on the outside. That's where Watson and Williams will be, and they'll just provide safety help for those two.
Williams matched up with Higgins in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Davis and the bigger receivers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then what's your thoughts on Justin Reed? You think he's gonna be, he's gonna be consistent this year?
Oh boy.
I think what you see from Justin Reed is what you get. I mean, he is who he is at this point of his career. You're going to get a player that's somewhat inconsistent and struggles, from week to week. Even though last year he was really good against, the tight ends, I feel like Spags was kind of hiding him a little bit in coverage because the PFF numbers look good, but if you watched it with your eyes, you could tell that he was struggling.
Okay, so my bad. Let me ask you this: like, what's the difference between the Badger and Reed? In terms of their play,
more turnovers, but I think Justin Reed is a better tackler.
I'm just asking because it seems like both of them being in that position on this defense for Spags, everyone is disappointed in the play, right? Like we heard this about Badger, how Badger wasn't making enough splash plays and this and that and this and that. And now you go to Reed and everybody's saying the same thing about Reed. And it's like, well, what if in Spags' defense, that's not his job? Like his instincts to play, but what if him coming up to make all these splash plays is just not his role? I mean, yeah, there's times when there's a coverage blown or whatever. Everybody's human, right? But like maybe he's doing his job and he's doing it as great as anybody else in that position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I think Honey Badger did, like, especially his first year, I think he made a lot of plays on the ball. I think he's more of a Roman safety where Spags was just like, just do you. You know what I'm saying? Whereas we found out that Justin Reed is best, and this is where Shamari Connor kind of came into play, playing in the slot and kind of being that Roman safety. Justin Reed is better in the box. He's better being an extra linebacker almost, because that's what he does. He plays the run good. You know what I'm saying? He can sniff out the run, and he's a great tackler, actually. You know what I'm saying? When he's focused and he's like really on his stuff. He made a lot of plays in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that Ravens game. He made quite a few tackles for loss. So I think that's where they differ from. Whereas in Honey Badger's not as big as just Reed, 6'2", 220.
Yeah.
Honey Badger is 5'9", 180 pounds, maybe. But he was so good because his instincts were just so good. He could take the ball away, and that's what Honey Badger brought to the table. So I just think they're two different types of safeties. So
I know that there are two different types of safeties. I'm just saying in regards to what people's expectations are for the position.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because this defense as a whole is not really a take a ball away type of defense. Like Spags seems like he doesn't preach get your hands on the ball. It's more so like knock it down, or you know what I'm saying, just to have some great coverage where they don't throw it your way. So we don't, and that's one thing I hope changes this season with the secondary is get more takeaways, because that would get the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands more. So
I think
that's something we was missing
as a whole for the defense. get more takeaways.
Joe had a question about Najee Johnson. What's your thoughts on Najee Johnson?
No, I like Najee Johnson. I definitely think he makes the roster. Now, as far as him starting like day one, I don't know about that, but if he has a really good training camp like he was last year before he did unfortunately get injured, there is a chance that he could start. I mean, I don't think anything's really out of the question. I think it's still that spot's still up in the air. It's still to be earned. I don't think anybody's penciled in right now at that spot.
Yeah, I think the battle is going to be between Jalen Williams, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, and Najee Johnson. I think those three are going to be battling it out, and the chips just fall where they. Man, I think they all three make the roster. I just think that number 2 and 3 corner is going to be fought between those three, and then whoever, because all three can play special teams, so they're going to make the roster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But either one of them can play the gunner. So Tope is going to keep all three of them, you know what I'm saying? So it's just going to be a battle out. And then I think like the Nick Jones and even the 6th round pick, unless the 6th round pick just comes out, the Kamal kid comes out of nowhere and just blows everybody away in training camp. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they brought in Kelvin Joseph too, so
yeah,
that's not saying much, but
he's been getting smoked in training camp. What's up, country?
How you know he's gonna get smoked?
Because I saw the training camp. He was getting every time somebody was running past Hollywood Brown, somebody running past somebody. He saw Joseph.
That's Hollywood Brown. He's trying to blow out their hamstrings in minicamp. He trying to blow out my hamstrings. Hey, man.
I would still like Joseph. Smoked, man. I would still like them to bring in Stephon Gilmore if that is a possibility, because then you do have that sure name starting next to starting alongside McDuffie, and then you could be even more versatile because you could, start Gilmore against your number 1, and then have McDuffie working in and out of that slot. I think that would be so dangerous.
I personally think,
but I don't think it's going to happen. But
I don't know if Gilmore could cover number 1s, but him on a number 2, I'll take that instead and have Trent travel with the number 1.
I think he could cover a lower grade number 1.
Yeah, let's see. He's getting long in the tooth, man.
Yeah, he's good up there.
He's getting long in the tooth. He's still a good corner. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. I just think now he's in his career where he's the number 2 guy. Like, if they bring in Stephon Gilmore to be the number 1, something went wrong at camp. Like, Trent McDuffie's out there just getting his smoked. like Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is just taking off on Trent McDuffie. It's not looking good. So, if you bring it, I'm not mad at bringing on Stephon Gilmore. I think, like I said, he'll bring that veteran leadership. He's a team guy. You know that. He's a calm, collect, reserve. You know what I'm saying? He'll bring that leadership that would possibly be missing with L'Jarius Sneed. So you bring him in and kind of rally the troops. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, fellas, let's talk about these linebackers. Now, we got Nick Bolton coming in this season. Now, this is a contract year. Now, he might get paid in training camp. Never know. You know what I'm saying? There's still a possibility that they can come to him right before training camp and be like, hey, man, let's hash this deal out, man. Let's get this, done. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people have been talking about his contract this offseason. And do I think Nick Bolton is going to get Fred Warner money? No, he's not Fred Warner. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. But I do think that he's a top 5 middle linebacker. I do. I think he makes plays. I think, you know what I'm saying, when we need a big play and when we need a clutch play from the linebackers, Nick Bolton is always around the ball. Whether he's making a tackle for loss, whether he's intercepting the ball, he does that a lot. So, and he can rush the passer sometimes when you send him on a linebacker blitz. So, I think Nick Bolton will get a nice contract. I do think they pay him because of the way Spags talks about him, Andy Reid, how other guys on the defense talk about Nick Bolton. I just think that he's one of their leaders on that team. And you don't want to – we know how the linebacker position looked, especially in the middle, before Nick Bolton got there. Like Anthony Hitchens, y'all remember him?
Reggie Ragland.
Reggie Ragland, yeah, you remember him? Yeah, it wasn't good. Ben Neiman, yeah, it wasn't good, y'all. So – and I don't think that people understand, like, there's not good middle linebackers in this league, man. It's like, it's Fred Warner, Roquan Smith, a few other guys, and then the bottom just drops. Like it's not a lot of good middle linebackers in this league. So when you get a good one, you might want to keep him on the team.
Never mind.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead, man. This is what
Let's laugh full time. Listen, I challenge any of you out of shape fat fucks to get out there, call a defense, recognize run and pass, run from sideline to sideline, chase down running backs, chase down tight ends, and occasionally slot wide receivers. Like what you had, like Chris said, was Anthony Hitchens, Reggie Ragland, Ben Neiman. And then you saw this huge shift because there was so much speed in comparison. For anybody that has a problem with Nick Bolton being on his defense, I stress to you to, first of all, do a juice diet, cleanse out that colon, drop some weight, get your fat ass out there on the track, do some sprints to try to be half the man that dude is right now. And see if you make the team. Don't criticize that man in his job because you couldn't do his job. That's not your role. Be a fan. Shut the hell up. I'm sorry.
You're a fan. But no.
I'm sorry. Too far? Too far for me?
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
All right. Stay with
no, but like I said, Nick Bolton definitely deserves to get paid this offseason. Right. He has been a staple on this defense. Like I said, he's been a captain. You know what I'm saying? He used to get Willie Gay in position to make those plays. You know what I'm saying? Like he used to get that defensive line right to go make the sacks. Chris Jones, you know, I've seen sound bites where it's like Nick's like, "Hey, y'all do this, you do this. Hey, Chris, just go find somebody to get open." And then they, Chris Jones sacked somebody.
Didn't he close out a game?
Yeah, he did that against Jacksonville.
Okay. Well, okay. And wasn't there another one against I think the Chargers too, right?
Probably.
Got a pick. Didn't you get that pick? Yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Just make sure I wasn't tripping. Did he also scored in the Super Bowl too, right? Against Philly?
He should have got two. Should have got two of them.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Okay.
Is there a chance though that Nick Bolton is a cap casualty because they paid Chris Jones last offseason? You got Creed Humphrey, you're going to have to pay. Trey McDuffie, you're going to have to pay coming up. I mean, there's a lot of guys you're going to have to pay coming up.
The only way
I don't think there is. But
the only way I think he becomes a casualty is if Leo and Drew are up there on that level to which they can say, okay, we could potentially get by. That would be the only way. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, my boy, because you can't have that huge of a drop off, dog. Like,
yeah.
You talking about what Nick Bolton brings to this defense? Like, he is that ceiling that keeps everything together. Like you saw, without him in that lineup, it was shaky. You know what I'm saying? Thank God you had a healthy Chris and a Snead back there. You know what I'm saying?
And Drew did good, but you know
he did good, but he wasn't no Nick Bolton. He wasn't 32.
No, you're not.
I'm just 32. Saying, dog. I'm just saying.
And we are, and we did lose Willie Gay to the Saints. He signed a 1 year, $5 million deal. So that is the speed element that we will be losing. We all kind of figured Willie was going to be gone. I just figured Willie was going to get paid a lot more than 1 year, $5 million. But, you know, it is what it is. They re-signed Drew Tranquil to a 3-year, $19 million deal, 12.5 guaranteed. They brought him back, kind of be that versatile piece because he could play outside. And Nick Bolton happens to go down.
He got how much?
19.
Okay, for how many years?
3.
I mean, okay.
12.5 million.
Okay. This is July 1. So we'll come back and revisit this if Veach don't give Nick Bolton his money, and then people get on Twitter talking that shit about how Nick Bolton don't deserve no money. We'll come back and we'll revisit this because that's some bullshit, and you know it. Well, we're not gonna talk about Chris Jones. I'm passing now. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I'm your brother.
He got paid, man. He got his money, man.
He got it last year. We changed a lot of shit. Okay,
I'm over. March, but he finally got it.
Yeah, I'm over.
He got his money though.
I'm over.
But Drew Tranquil's back. He's that versatile linebacker who could play inside and outside, just in case either one or two guys go down. You got Leo Chenal. He's in his first year starter. And he made plays here and there, you know what I'm saying, and as a backup. I'm excited for Leo Chenal this year to see what he could do. No, he's not Willie Gay, but he still is an athlete in his own right. He's definitely, a good downhill runner. You know what I'm saying? See ball, go get ball. That's what he is. And he provides pass rush. That's one thing Leo Chenal, you know what I'm saying, even though he should have got that sack against Lamar Jackson. But I get it. It's Lamar Jackson. I get it. But I get it.
Yeah.
Then you have second-year player. He was an undrafted free agent, Cam Jones. He showed some flashes in that last Week 17 game. I think he showed some things, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I think he has the inside track to be the backup to either one of those guys. You got Jack Cochran. We saw Jack Cochran in the Packers game, and he looked lost when Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquil went down. It was not pretty. But hey, whatever.
Special teams.
Yeah, he brings special teams. Him and Cole Christensen bring that special teams. They also signed a couple of guys, Curtis Jacobs, who played for Penn State, LaQuay Washington, and Swayze Bozeman. All those guys. Swayze Bozeman.
As in Patrick Swayze? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. My apologies,
These guys will probably be practice squad guys. So, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't that bad.
I'm going to have to check him out. Patrick Swayze.
Cam Jones, though, Cam Jones showed some flashes, and I actually liked it from the jump when they picked him up in that draft. It either was undrafted free agent or later in the draft. But I like that signing because he's very versatile. He's an athlete, and as far as you said we lost the speed with Willie Gay. I think Cam Jones could get a little more playing time this year with Willie gone.
Yeah, there's a possibility, especially if Leo Chenal's not catching on as like we think he's going to. Maybe Cam Jones comes in and provides that, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, anything, Cam Jones will be in the rotation, whatever, and he'll probably be special teams at worst. So, all right, man, that's the defensive breakdown, man. Clarence think he's slick because he knew I was going to come to this topic.
He knew this was it.
Chiefs is doing a Hallmark movie. They announced this last week. It's one of those corny, cheesy Hallmark movie love stories. It's called Holiday Touchdown. That's what it's called. Holiday Touchdown.
So I had to get my charger cord. Man, don't nobody want to hear that bullshit.
And I just got one question for you two. Are y'all gonna go down there and be extras?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be extra.
Clarence, go down there and be an extra, maybe in the movie.
Yeah, nobody want to see that bullshit.
You look right in the camera and get your 15 minutes of fame.
I don't need
that's Clarence.
Minutes,
That's my dog right there. Arrowhead Chief Podcast.
I don't need no damn 15 minutes.
When the shirts get made,
Hallmark. What?
When the shirts get made, wear an Arrowhead Chief Podcast shirt.
Okay.
Bro, product placement.
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Go Hallmark. Who gonna watch that shit?
Don't get.
You know what? I'm saying. What's gonna happen. Go ahead.
I ain't gonna say it, man.
No, say it. I'm your brother. Come on, say it, man.
You know who's gonna watch this movie.
Yeah, you know who finna watch this movie. Hoping that Taylor Swift's ass is in it. I'm not watching that.
She ain't gonna be in this movie. She got better things than to do than to be in this movie.
Watch the fucking be in fucking Hallmark. Really?
I might have to check this Hallmark movie out though. I'll give it
Yeah.
a review. I'll give it a review.
You gonna give
You
it a
can watch
review, Tom? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it a review.
Tom
right.
wasn't an angle for cheeks.
Wait, what did
I'm sorry, man. I say, and listen, I'm sorry. I'm your brother, man.
wait, what did you say though? I didn't
Nothing. Yeah, baby, go
Yeah,
ahead.
wow.
So, yeah, I'm gonna watch this Hallmark with you. Yeah, girl, yeah. Ain't fool nobody, man.
He watching the movie for brownie points, you said, Claire?
Yeah, absolutely. Any man is listen. Okay.
Any man what?
It'll only be like an
Waste
hour
their
and a
time
half,
watching
so
this movie.
it'll be
Yeah.
Look, man.
Yeah. Listen,
You
angle.
see
It's
one
holiday time. She should be in the
You see
giving
one-
mood. Like, come on.
You see one Hallmark movie, you've seen them all. They all got the same plot.
Exactly.
They all got the same
Waste my
actors and actresses, and yeah. But hey, shout out to the
Hallmark-
Chiefs. They getting noticed, man. This is what comes with being
Hallmark
the
was
best.
always treated like Netflix when I was around.
Oh boy, I know what that means.
Are you still enjoying the program? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well. All right, man. Let's talk about the ESPYs, man. Patrick Mahomes is up for 2 awards, and the Kansas City Chiefs are up for an award. Patrick Mahomes is up for Best Athlete, Men's Sports. He's against Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Shohei.
Scotty Scheffler of the golfer, and Connor McDavid, Edmund Orioles, hockey player.
Okay, hockey.
Oh.
And then he's up for Best NFL Player. He's against Myles Garrett, Lamar Jackson, and Christian McCaffrey. And then the Kansas City Chiefs are up for Best Team. They're up against South Carolina women's basketball team. They went undefeated.
Awesome.
Michigan Wolverines, they won the national championship. Las Vegas Aces, they won the championship last year. They're going for a three-peat. University of Connecticut won back-to-back national championships. Oklahoma Sooners, the softball team, they won 4 straight national championships in a row. Boston Celtics, I know you two like this, just won the championship. The Florida Panthers.
They're gonna win the award too. I already knew it.
Florida Panthers won. They're up for NHL. They just won the Stanley Cup, and the Texas Rangers, who won the World Series last year. So that's what we up against.
Of all time to be on this list. They almost blew a 3-0 lead. You put them on this
list. You talking about the Celtics?
The Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers.
No, listen. Don't bring up Boston Celtics no more on the show.
Oh, why? They won, man. They was nominated.
We're not worried about Boston. We just traded for Mike Hill. We're good.
They just added what they got, 19 championships.
They count those championships from the 30s, man. Come on.
Come on, man. You gotta show love, man. Even though they ran through some teams that had injuries, but still, you know. The Knicks is back though, right, Ty?
Yeah, we're back. We're back. Boston, we're not worried about Boston.
What your Lakers gonna do, Clarence?
Be better than Boston.
They're gonna go get DeMar DeRozan.
I'm not gonna say I'm done with this conversation, guys. We're not talking about the Celtics. At least I'm not.
I see this team coming out as hoodie.
I don't have to. I'm not gonna do this.
You're not gonna subject yourself to this conversation.
Everyone that knows me knows where my hate is directed. He'll never be Kobe Bryant. On to the next.
I know who you talk about.
He was man.
He was kind of trash. He was kind of trash these playoffs.
He's always kind of trash.
He was kind of trash these playoffs.
He's always
especially in the finals. Especially in the finals.
Yeah, sure.
So. All right, fellas. The NFL put out a list of Mount Rushmores of each NFL team. And I'm about to pull up the Kansas City Chiefs.
Better be number 1.
Eric Thomas, Tony Gonzalez, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. Do you guys agree with this list?
I agree. I mean, I agree with it, except for maybe Tony Gonzalez. I think you could probably slide him off there, honestly.
Who would you put in his place?
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
you could put Jamal Charles.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
Jamal.
put-
Yeah.
I mean, Jamal
I
is
mean,
there, but I
that's
think
obvious to me.
I
think you
love
gotta put-
Jamal. Don't get it twisted. I love Jamal. But you're talking about Tony Gonzalez, who has the most yardage by tight ends in history, not just Chiefs history, in history.
See, he's right.
Oh,
I'm
look
good
at
on the Falcon.
The Falcons.
Can I make a case for somebody?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Chris Jones.
No, I agree
Okay.
with that.
Chris Jones.
Yeah, you off that beach train. All right. Now we're talking.
I don't even make the case for. There's a couple guys I make the case for, but
I got another question for y'all.
Mm-mm.
Has Chris Jones surpassed Derrick Thomas?
Easy, buddy.
I don't know how to answer that question.
I'm asking a question. It's a question. He's got three.
Easy,
he's got
buddy.
the same amount of all. He's got the same amount of all pros. He's after this season, he'll probably be second behind Derrick Thomas in sacks. So in the next couple of years, he'll probably going to beat that record.
Mm.
He's got 3 Super Bowl rings, possibly 4th one this year.
I don't. To be fair, I don't know if you count
And let's be real, Derrick Thomas, and Derrick Thomas was great. I'm not taking nothing away from Derrick Thomas. But it's easier to rush the pass on the outside than it is on the inside. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You know, in a relationship, it's easier to drift apart and it's harder to stay together. Just saying.
What the hell does that mean?
That means that you sitting up here talking about Derrick Thomas is easy to drift on the outside. Chris take his ass out there too. When he got sacked on Joe Burrows, as you call him, Joe Burrows,
what I'm saying.
He was running outside.
Burrows, that's what he is, because he's Logan Boy. He's nothing. No, he's Burrows until he wins something.
Well, he ain't never gonna win nothing.
Exactly, and he'll be Joe Burrows for the rest of his career. To me,
made chili smell like swamp shit.
Yeah, don't even get started on that.
Yeah.
No,
swamp shit.
So
chili with cheese and Cincy and swamp shit. I said it.
Tyreek Hill. You think Tyreek Hill should be on this list?
I mean, I don't know.
No, he was only here for 6 years.
Honorable mention.
What about Lynn Dawson?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, won a Super Bowl, man.
But no. Because it takes away from 15. So no.
I know, Joe. That's what I'm saying. He'll be after this season. He's going to be second on that list because I think the next person is Tamba, and Tamba got 89. So I'm just.
So you would take out Derrick and put in Chris Jones?
No, I'm not saying I would. I'm just asking a question.
But then when
the consensus is
when Ty said Jamal Charles in for Tony Gonzalez, you said, well, no, because Tony Gonzalez got all the damn records. That's what you said.
Yeah,
he do got all the records. He got the most receiving yards of all time.
But who's
Look,
better?
I understand that everybody.
Who's better, Travis or
I know Travis is better.
Okay,
but
so there can be only one. There should be only one.
But let's not act like Tony Gonzalez had a Patrick Mahomes throwing it to him either.
Oh, that don't mean shit.
It don't?
No.
And Tony played in a different era of football. Let's just keep it
precisely.
So it ain't like that's too far away where we were forgetting the best running backs for a reason. Because we were a running team.
Listen.
And Tony was putting up numbers. Okay.
So was Jamal.
Tony sucks. Fuck Tony Gonzalez, man.
I say Jamal. I agree with Ty. It should be Jamal.
I love Jamal. I think Jamal should be in the Hall of Fame. I just think the unfortunate thing with Jamal Charles was he played in the era with Adrian Peterson, Sean McCoy, and a few other good running backs. And then the injury started taking its toll.
But when Andy first got here,
but who had the most yards per carry out of all those guys, Chris? Out of all those guys, with the bad line.
He did. No, I agree. I agree. I think Jamal Charles is the most underrated running back to ever get recognized. The things that man did. The Raider game, like we forget about that game.
Jamal carried the franchise.
He was the offense. He was. Even when Alex got here, he was the offense. Everything ran through him. And if he went down, we was losing the game.
Oh, and our season was
it was over. I remember that Ravens playoff game when Jamal Charles ran that touchdown. I was like, oh yeah. And then Ravens defense was like, no, we about to stack 8 in the box, player.
And Matt Castle couldn't beat him, obviously.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't think he should be
Tony.
I think y'all are severely disrespecting Jamal.
I mean, I remember what Tony did for this team, but
I think y'all disrespecting Tony. I get it. He said he showed love to the Falcons. I get it. Y'all
why got to be 2 tight ends on the wall?
Why
got to be 2 tight ends on the wall?
Because we had the 2 of the greatest.
No, pick one. Okay, so you had to pick which one?
I'm picking Travis because nobody's done what Travis. Nobody's ever going to do what Travis does. Nobody. There's never going to be a Travis Kelce to accomplish.
So if you could only pick one. Okay, I'm gonna move the goalpost. So if you could only pick one, who would replace Tony Gonzalez?
Chris Jones.
I'm picking.
There, Chris Jones.
There you go. When you're getting into this conversation, I think by the end of it, there's going to be a good chance for a guy that's on the team right now to be on this list. And I'm not going to say who, but it's not Chris Jones. It's not Mahomes. It's a running back.
Who? Pacheco?
Yeah.
No. If we not putting Jamal Charles on this list, we definitely not putting Pacheco on this list. I got 2 other running backs I put over Pacheco. Do we forget about it?
You brought up the Super Bowl, Chris Jones. I mean, Pacheco,
did we forget about Priest Holmes?
He's been here for 2 years. He's won a Super Bowl each 2 years he's been here.
This potentially could be a huge year for him too.
It can be. This is gonna be the best. This is gonna be his best year because finally he's gonna see what it's like to have not 8 stacked in the box.
Right.
Because now we can stretch the field with Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. There you go.
Country said you said you're too young, man. Yeah, man. We not putting Isaiah. I'm not putting Isaiah Pacheco on this. I'll put Jamal over him. Yeah. I'll put Jamal Charles over him. I'll put Tyreek over Isaiah Pacheco.
Man, come on, man. If that's the case, then put Kareem Hunt on the wall then. Hell.
Shit. I mean, Kareem at his best is better than Pacheco.
Yeah,
Kareem was swerving.
Before the whole situation, Kareem was come on now. We had Kareem Hunt for that AFC Championship game against New England, we won that game.
We're gonna find out. Okay, Jamal Priest before Pacheco.
I agree.
That's fair. I mean, honestly, I think Jamal should be on the list. But I mean, I can see why not. It's tough. I think really, there's a lot of, we've been fortunate to have a lot of good players have a list like this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. All right, y'all. Let's talk about the AFC East. This is our division breakdown.
Who's doing the East or the North? Okay.
Yeah.
East, okay.
Huh? We're doing the East. We do the
No,
North.
no, no. Go ahead. All right.
So let's start with the Buffalo Bills, man. So they've added some players and subtracted some players, especially on that defense. On defense, they lost Jordan Poyer, Gabe Davis, Leonard Floyd, Michael Hyde, Tre'Davious White. Lost all those staples on that defense. And then they added Curtis Samuel, Lowell Collins, offensive line, Will Clapp, Mike Edwards, who was formerly a Chief, Chase Claypool, Dewan Smoot, who was defensive lineman for the Jaguars, and then Deion Jones, linebacker. And then they drafted Keon Coleman, Cole Bishop, Dwayne Carter, and Ray Davis. Now, personally, I think Buffalo Bills take a step back. I do. I think they take a step back.
Based on what,
Josh?
Offensively or defensively?
Defensively. You got Josh Allen. Your offense is going to be good. Like, you have no choice but to be good. If he has competent wide receivers, which I think he does, with Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, I think they could be a formidable wide receiver.
Yeah.
And then the emergence of James Cook, huh?
Their wide receiver room reminds me of the Chiefs wide receiver a lot from last year. Reminds me of that room a lot.
I think it's a little bit more
There's
talented.
a lot of question marks. Obviously,
it is question marks.
Curtis Samuel's a nice piece, but I don't know that he's, a 1A or a 1B or even a number 2.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. And then James Cook, I think he emerged last year. So
I was thinking about Buffalo, and I was like, man, you let Davis and Diggs go, and I think they did that for Josh Allen's psyche and his peace of mind. You know what I mean? Actually, to put him back in that leadership position on that offense. I mean, for what Stephon Diggs does, I mean, on the field, you know what I mean? I think he was in Josh's head a little too much. So, I mean, I think this will be a good thing for him to have new guys around him. And he can get them acclimated to the Buffalo way of football and be the one voice in that locker room on that offensive side of the ball. But defensively, they haven't been the same since they let Edwards out the door to Chicago.
Yeah.
They just haven't.
That was a big loss. And then
that
obviously,
was a huge loss.
Poyer, he's gone, right, too? Or did he end up signing back?
I don't know if Poyer left or not.
No, he did. He's a Miami Dolphin.
Okay, he in Miami. And I know Michael Hyde is still trying to figure out if he's coming back from that neck. So
yeah, he might retire. So
yeah.
But like I said, they lost a lot on that defense. I think they'll be able to score. I just, you still got those tight ends and Dalton Kincaid. You got Knox. So they're going to do a lot of 2 tight end sets too. So they'll be able to score. It's just, can they stop somebody from scoring? Because you got Von Miller, who's going to be a year older. He did not look good last year. They had Mac Milano coming back from injury. Huh?
He looked unplayable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looked old. He looked like Father Time and caught up. So, and then Greg Russo hasn't lived up to the billing. Like I don't know if their pass rush is going to be enough to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But then you got new corners out there. Like,
did they lose White? Tre'Davious White's gone.
Yeah. He's a Charger now.
Yeah.
So
he'll be hurt over there too.
Like I said, it's bad. I think Buffalo takes a step back. I actually got them missing the playoffs this year.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I got them missing the playoffs because of that division.
Like I could see I could see them 8-9, 9-8, or 10-7. I can see that.
I think that's all it's going to take to win that division. I mean, obviously Miami thinks they've gotten better, but their problem is still their problem. They haven't fixed that, so I don't see them being a real contender this year. The Jets, that's a big mess to me. What they got going on up there, I just don't know how that's going to work out. With the Rodgers, that's 40, another year older, coming off an Achilles surgery. So I do think you're right, Chris. I do think Buffalo takes a step back, but I think really the division as a whole could take a step back. Honestly, I mean, obviously
I hear
Miami
you.
had some people, and the Jets should be better because they won those games last year with Zach Wilson, but you got to see it first.
No, I hear you. And let's talk about the Jets. Like the Jets, they revamped their offensive line. They did do
They
that.
did.
Even though they got some old guys on there, they
And
revamped
they
it.
got
Now
some injury
Tyron
prone
Smith,
guys too.
yeah, Tyron Smith he's the X factor in all of this
Right.
because if he can stay healthy, then the offensive line should be decent. They signed Mike Williams, another person who got injured often with the Chargers. But if he can stay healthy with the Garrett Wilson, that's an upgrade at wide receiver. You know
It
what I'm
is.
saying? With the Brees Hall in the backfield.
Now that's he's who
Like it
I'm
is.
wanting to see the most.
Who?
Is Hall.
Brees Hall.
That's who I'm.
Yeah, I mean he had a good season last year with Zach Wilson
He did.
Right.
as a quarterback.
And
Coming back
that
off
defense,
of injury.
they were putting as many people
Yeah.
in that box as they could.
Yeah,
Every
and that defense kept them in a lot of games last year.
Mhm.
That defense is really, really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they added a Hassan Reddick to that. We know Hassan Reddick can rush the pass. So now
I
you're
think
adding
on
somebody who
paper,
get after them.
I think on paper, if you look at the Jets, they got a really good roster. But I'm already worried about, what I'm going to say. I'm worried about distractions heading into training camp because Rodgers, he already missed
He's
that
not showing
time.
up.
Yeah, Reddick was in Japan
And Reddick, that's a
doing
whole
his
Out there
Shogun shit.
cosplay.
Yeah.
Out there cosplaying and shit.
That sword might be real. You better watch your mouth.
They're
But
cosplaying.
there's a whole
It's
contract
typical, man.
situation going on with Reddick, isn't it? He's still waiting on an extension, and he got traded there back in March. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that's
So
what's holding that up. But if they get all those guys on the field and they're all ready to roll, they have a really good team on paper, like I said. But
it's all about the offensive line and can Aaron Rodgers look halfway decent. He ain't even gotta be great. If he be decent, just be better than Zach Wilson.
But they brought back Hackett, and I mean, even with Rodgers, I thought. Last year I thought Hackett was a terrible coordinator. I don't get why you're bringing him back just other to please, obviously to please Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think Hackett's a good coordinator. I think there's a lot of questions with the coaching for me. Robert Saleh, this is a year for him. If he doesn't, the Jets goes, they have 6 or 7 wins this year again. I think he's out.
Oh, he's done. So he's on the hot seat. He's on the hottest of hot seats.
Here.
Yeah, he's on the hot. There's a couple coaches in this division that's on the hot seat.
Yeah.
The other one in Buffalo, he on that hot seat too.
I think
because if they have a bad season,
for a long time. He should have been on the hot seat ever since that loss, that 13 seconds game.
Yeah, because their defense was terrible.
Exactly.
But the Jets also drafted Olu Fasanu from Penn State, Malachi Corley, Braylon Allen, running back, and then they drafted the quarterback from Florida State, Jordan Travis, which that'll probably be more of a project type deal because he's hurt.
Yeah.
So
he'll
probably be the third quarterback on the roster.
He's heading into the NFL at what, like 24, 25?
I don't know. I don't know how old he is. I know he transferred a couple places.
Yeah, I know.
Because I know he transferred a couple places. Because he was supposed to transfer after this season. He was going to go I think he was going to stay at Florida State, and then he's decided to go to the draft, which I think he should have stayed.
Yeah, because I think if he would have stayed healthy, Florida State would have had a
better chance in that playoff.
Yeah. So okay, so honestly, Aaron stays healthy for 17.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many wins do they have?
I think 10. I think that's the
11,
highest rating.
11, maybe 12, 12 and 5. I can see them going 12 and 5, especially with that defense. That's really, really what it comes down to. That defense they're gonna always stay in games. And if
Right.
Aaron Rodgers can make a few plays with his arm and Breece Hall doing his thing, the Jets can be really good this year, or they could just be a disaster. There's no in between.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at with there. I like the Malachi Corley pick too, though.
I do too. I like that kid too. And he could be a contributor too, you know what I'm saying, in that wide receiver room. So we'll see. We'll see. It's, like I said, it's all about Aaron Rodgers, man. It's all about Aaron Rodgers. All right, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. You know, the 7 seed Miami Dolphins.
I mean, they pretty much were.
It matter.
I really don't think
What are you getting mad for? Who cares if you were the 6 or 7 seed? You lost.
You lost. You took an ass whooping.
Exactly.
You lost. Who cares? Oh, man. All right, so the Dolphins, they brought in Shaq Barrett, Jonas Smith, tight end, Jordan Brooks, linebacker. They got OBJ. Jody Fortson, Chiefs legend. Kendall Fuller, old Chiefs legend. Jordan Poyer. They lost Christian Wilkins, Xavier Howard, Jerome Baker, and Emmanuel Agba. They lost a few guys on the defensive side. So and some big time players on the defensive side too. So you still got Jalen Ramsey over there, huh?
I said the defense did not get better, and it was already a problem.
They're getting Jalen Phillips back. I know he got hurt. He tore his ACL. He was balling too. He was balling.
Yeah,
he was out playing Chubb.
Yeah, he was. He was balling. And Chubbs got hurt too, didn't he? He tore his ACL or something like that.
Chubb got hurt. Yep.
So you're getting 2 defensive linemen coming off of ACL tears. Look, they're gonna score points. That's what they're a finesse team to me. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna score points. They're fast. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about that defense. Can that defense hold against other top quality teams? Can they beat a team over 500? And they didn't do that last year.
Yeah. And to me, like you said, they lost some pieces on that defense. I know you're getting Phillips back and then Chubb, but still, Chubb to me was not playing well last year and the year before that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, wait a minute.
This team.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So they got Jordan Brooks from Seattle.
Yeah, he's a good linebacker.
And they still got David Long.
Yeah.
And they still got Duke Riley.
Yeah.
I mean, so what you're asking for, the bottom line for them is a big thing that hurt them last year was the injuries. Like injuries killed that whole entire linebacker room.
It did.
If you can stay consistent, if you can stay healthy, in that linebacker room, that goes a long way for them, especially late in the year when they have to go on the road and play teams, that like to run football, to keep that offense off of the field. Like you got to be able to stop the run. If you got that high-powered of an offense, you better be able to stop the run defensively because teams don't want to give you the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
And then let's talk about how that offense plays in the cold too, because that offense does not travel well. Let's just call it like it is. They do not play well in the cold, and it's not just the defensive thing. They get out. That offensive line, they get out physical a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing that surprised me about McDaniel. Like I thought he would have more of a power scheme, or at least the ability. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have Raheem Mostert and H.N., go get you a thumper too. You know what I'm saying? Get you somebody that's physical. Or use.
I mean, Armstead was a good pickup for them, but
Then in the draft they got Chop Robinson who has potential. You know what I'm saying? Chop Robinson, he's a hell of an athlete. Could be a pass rusher for them.
Right.
Patrick Paul, the tackle from Houston, he probably be good on the right side. Jalen Wright, Tennessee running back, he's got speed to him. And then Muhammad Kamara, edge rusher out of Colorado State. He had a really great game against Colorado last year. That kid puts up sack numbers, crazy sack numbers in college, like 12, 13. And then you got Malik Washington, wide receiver out of Virginia, who has potential. He has a huge upside. So they added some pieces, but like you guys said, man, they got to show something this year, man. They got to get tougher. it is what it is. They got to get tougher. They get pushed around too much, and they lost a lot on that defensive line. You got some guys coming back from injury, leg injuries at that. It's going to take them some time to get in the flow of things. So we'll see. We'll see. Miami, they're kind of a question mark for me this year.
Do they win that division?
They have a chance to, with everybody taking us. Well, the Jets are kind of like in their own little category because it's like Aaron Rodgers a bust with them. Buffalo, like we said before, they're taking a step back. If Miami can overtake them, they have a chance of winning. Or
what about this next team you're about to talk about?
New England Patriots. We can talk about them. Gerard Mayo is the new head coach.
Wait.
Gerard Mayo has taken over as head coach. So no more Bill Belichick. The Bill Belichick era is over. He's out the building. So I expect New England to have a little bit more of a loose mindset. They ain't gonna be all tight and tense and look like they can't breathe out there.
What they lose on defense?
Just J.C. Jackson. I think they resigned everybody on their defense.
And that defense
Chris Baymore.
Was in the top 5,
Chris
right?
Baymore. No, they have a good defense. Their defense is actually really good.
Yeah.
With I think Judon is still there. Is Matthew Judon still there?
Yeah.
So you got Judon, who's a really good pass rusher. Josh Uche, who's up and coming. Chris Baymore, who's a good inside defensive tackle. Then you add what is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Somebody from New England didn't like what we was talking about. Then they added they had wide receiver KJ Osborne, who was really good for the Vikings. I know he played with Justin Jefferson or whatever, but he's a good number 2, number 3 wide receiver. Kendrick Bourne, he showed flashes with New England before he got hurt. Ramondre Stevenson, he's their offense. Like he runs the rock for them. They just paid him this offseason. And then in the draft, they got Drake May, who has a cannon for an arm. The kid can throw it down the field. Just see if he could do all the other stuff. Jalen Polk, wide receiver out of Washington, who's really good, can run real good routes. He's going to be really good for them. I think him and Drake May are going to build a little rapport with each other. And then they fixed their offensive line with a couple of picks, and then they got Javon Baker, UFC wide receiver, who used to play for Alabama, but he transferred to UFC. Big kid, big tall kid who could go. New England is one of those teams you could tell they're in rebuild. Do I think they make the playoffs this year? No, but I do think
out of those 6-7 wins, how many of those 6-7 wins come from within the division? You know what I'm saying?
But they always play the division tough. They do always play their division tough.
Yeah,
like Buffalo always has a hard time with them. Miami always has a hard time with them. The Jets always have a hard time with them because they're well disciplined on defense, especially on defense. The problem with New England was they didn't have playmakers on offense.
Right,
and that's still my problem with them is that receiver position. I mean, I know you went out and drafted Drake May, but
I think Jalen Polk is going to surprise some people this year. And watch out for Javon Baker too. I think those two guys, and then KJ Osborne, he's solid. So, do I think they're going to be a top 10, top 5 offense? No, but I think their offense is going to be 10 times better than what it's been.
Right, maybe more from the quarterback position, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. And then they got rid of Mac Jones. They traded him to Jacksonville, so they got the old stench of Bill Belichick about it. So I think New England's going to be that pesty team that's like, how the hell are we not beating the hell out of this team right now? Like, why is this game still 17-13 right now? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, and I like Gerard Mayo. I think he's been there. He played for them. He knows how things is run there, and he's gonna bring his own flavor to this team. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a good hire.
And I think he'll be able to connect with the younger players better than what
because he's a young guy too. He's what, 35, 36 maybe? I don't even think he's that old. So New England's gonna be, like I said, I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs or anything, but they will,
they'll take a step forward for sure. At least you'll see, you'll see an improvement. Like you said, the offense will be 10 times better. It might not be top 10, maybe top 15, but it's going to be a lot better than what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But so that wraps up the AFC East. Like I said, it's a toss-up, man, between Miami. To me, to win this division, I think it's between Miami and the Jets. I think Buffalo can make a case. I still got to see it on defense. I got to see it on defense. I got to see if this team could take that step forward on defense. If some of these young guys can step up, because like I said, they lost some key guys, captains, like players.
Yeah.
Jordan Poyer is one of the best. Jordan Poyer was one of the best safeties in this league. You know what I'm saying? It's just injuries started messing with him.
And he was there for a long time too. So.
Yeah. Like Von Miller, before he got hurt that one season, he was on his way to having a all-pro season. You know what I'm saying? Like he was giving us problems.
Josh Allen was on his way to win MVP all the way up until that Detroit Lions Thanksgiving game.
Yeah, he looked bad. So another player they New England added was Antonio Gibson. I like that pick too. He's a good.
Yeah, I do actually like backfield.
Yeah, you can put him in the backfield. You can put him in the slot.
He's so versatile.
Yeah.
I actually wanted the Chiefs.
I kind of wanted the Chiefs to go out and get him or Cordell Patterson. A guy like that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, this is down to Aaron Rodgers. Can Aaron Rodgers not be a damn distraction and get out his own damn way and stay healthy? Like he's gonna be 41 this year, so I don't know, man.
And can that MetLife turf not take any more victims this year? Because that MetLife
cheaper to go to grass,
terrible, and it's not getting better.
No, it's not.
Players prefer grass over that field turf. I'm just saying.
They do. A lot of concussions and all kinds of mess.
A lot of non-contact injuries.
Just saying.
All right, fellas, before I get y'all out of here, I just want to do a few over-unders. All right. Let's start with the offense. Patrick Mahomes, over-under 4,800 yards.
I'm sorry, wait, what did you say?
I said Patrick Mahomes, over-under 4,800 yards.
I'm going to go with over. Obviously you added in all these high flyers to this offense. Mahomes has talked about over the last couple of years kind of wanting to get back to being able to hit that deep ball more. We hadn't seen it with MVS at all. There was very short flashes that we seen that deep ball hit between him and MVS. But now, you added in Xavier Worthy through the draft, and then you go out and you sign Hollywood Brown. You got a whole bunch of speed. I'm going with the over on that.
What you got, Claire?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm dead ass serious. Like 4,800 may be it.
Yeah.
In theory, you would think, a Hollywood, Rashid, but
Worthy and all that,
cover 3. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like
we're gonna be
Travis is open underneath cover 3. You know what I'm saying? Rashid, dude, get busy. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus that this gives them the opportunity to be more balanced. So, he may go for 505 TDs week 1. It may not happen until week 9. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, depends on how quickly they come together, man. Like,
right.
Mm-hmm. No,
it depends on the wide receiver rotations because
precisely.
Because
You
let's
say
not forget, last year
yes,
the rotations were pretty
yes.
bad.
Stop
All
with
the way
that
up until
rotating
about
shit. Yeah, plant your flags, get your guys.
exactly.
You know what I
Let's have
mean?
that ready for the season, not
Yes,
going into the
man.
season rotating guys and
Plus,
trying.
plus we don't, Rice might, we don't still don't know what's up
Right.
with that. But he's either gonna be out the first 6-8 games, or they might wait till this gets resolved and be like week 8. Yeah, he's suspended
Well, I
for
mean, they
week 8.
can't do anything until it's resolved, right?
Here's my problem with Rice, and it's not that I don't think he's a really good player. It's just that his role to me is very limited in what he's gonna do. He's gonna be that over the middle guy, and you added some more guys in this offseason. If you lose him for 6 to 8 games, I don't think this team takes a significant step back offensively, just because of that role that he's in. We've seen it throughout the playoffs. He's running a lot of crossers and unders. That's what he's running.
And you kept Cole, though.
Yeah, and I think you attribute that to that he was a rookie and they had
Right.
to put him in the offense, so
they had to use him
his
somehow.
role was limited. So
right.
He's still learning the playbook himself. I think this year he knows the playbook a lot more, so they'll be able to move him around a little bit more to use him the way they want to use him. And I think he's
still been working out.
Yeah. So we'll see.
And I don't know if Worthy, if he gets those reps that Rasheed got last year because of that. You know what I'm saying? I think Hollywood coming in says, okay, we can take our time with this kid and not have to rush him the way we did with Rasheed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they can bring him along a lot slower. Yeah. At the pace that Andy liked.
Yeah, for sure. So
which
under.
We know Worthy's not going to get significant snaps. Like you said, I agree. I don't think he gets significant snaps all the way up until probably halfway through the season, unless Rasheed is out, and then you got to find a way to utilize the guy. But, because especially with Hollywood Brown being on this roster, and they kind of having similar skill sets. I wouldn't say exactly the same, but, a similar skill set and similar kind of archetype of receiver, where you might not, see Worthy playing right away. You might see a lot more of Hollywood Brown.
Sky Moore.
Now, that's who I think could fill in. Now, if Rasheed is out, this is interesting for me. This could give Sky Moore the best chance he's had as a Chief. Let's just call it like it is. He's best in the slot. That's where he needs to play. If you want Sky Moore to be successful, you put him in the slot. There's been a lot of, I'm part of this too, criticism on Sky Moore, but he's not been put in a good position. It's kind of like CH. Yep, it is going to feed families. and then right. Andy Reid's going to say, Justin Watson, get in the game.
Yeah, that part.
But no, I think if Rasheed's out, I think I like Sky Moore to slide in there, honestly. I'm being 100% not even trolling nothing. I think he could fill that role. And that's probably where he needs to play at. Because he had some success early in the season last year. Let's not forget. Even though week 1 was a disaster, but week 2 against – it was that Bears game. He had some success against Jalen Johnson and the slide. Jalen Johnson is not, a bad
he's one of the top corners. He's a top corner. He's a really good.
So.
Yeah. Over under Patrick Mahomes 42 touchdowns.
42. I'm gonna go with the over. I think he gets around 45. So.
Yeah, I was thinking 44.
Okay. Travis Kelce, over under 1,100 yards.
I'm going to go with the under here. I think, last year we started to see it, even though he played really well towards the end of the year, into the playoffs, there's definitely some attrition setting in for Travis. And even him talking about retirement now, even that he's mentioned it a few times, that's kind of a sign for me that it is getting towards the end here and that the wheels are starting to slowly come off a little bit. Not that I think he has significantly under, but, I could see him having 800 to 900 yards. And just being a little bit under.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay.
I was thinking 1189.
Okay.
That's all I was thinking about for him. I mean, Because he was under 1,000 last year, right?
Yeah, he could have got
Yeah,
it if
like
he had
not-
played that last game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would have had it.
yeah. So you take that, you put that with Hollywood and Rasheed. And we don't know what's going to be behind Noah Gray. Maybe one of those guys steps up too. That gives.
Irv
Yeah,
Smith.
Yeah. There's another weapon, which frees up Travis a little bit more. I mean, it's easier for him to get 100-yard game with more weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
he'll
it
get a
is.
sneaky 100-yard game, and you'll be like, "What the? How the fuck? What? Wait!"
Last year, you do got to think all the pressure was on him because the
Yeah.
only real receiving threat was
Yeah.
Rashee Rice.
Yeah. Now he's not gonna be
Yeah.
bumping and banging, coming out like get that
He might
man
get
a
some
free
free
release.
runs again.
Yeah.
Like we've seen a couple years
15
ago.
yards per average. Just
I could see that.
120 yards. What Travis do today? Shit.
I just
I
think they
saw him
might
get
try
3
to preserve
catches.
him for the playoffs a little bit too, because we've seen last year after he did sit out that last game and then he came back for the playoffs. He was like a whole different person. It was crazy.
Yeah, I saw 1189. So.
For sure. All right, Hollywood Brown. Over under 950 yards.
This is tough for me because it's hard for me to say over, and he's gonna have 1,000 yards when it's his first year in this offense.
Yeah,
and we know how historically hard it is for any receiver to learn an Andy Reid offense because they have to learn every position. Not that he doesn't already know that, but it's just going to be a transition period. I'm gonna go with the under, but I don't think much under because I think he'll have around that 900-yard mark.
I was thinking like 850. So yeah,
for sure. Isaiah Pacheco over under 800 yards.
Rushing or total offense?
Rushing.
Yeah, this total yards.
Yeah, he'll probably have like 1,300.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with over. I would say
but, I mean,
between 1,100
Joe,
to 13.
Damn. Listen, Joe. As much as everybody wants to see Pat chuck it down the damn field every play, you know good and damn well they're not gonna just be bombing away the Hollywood Brown.
I don't know, Clarence, the way Patrick Mahomes talking Andy Reid, like, hey, bro.
They was talking up. Let's not act like they wasn't talking up MVS 2 years ago, too.
Why are you ain't throwing it down?
There they go. Get that Pooh Shiesty mask ready.
They've been talking up Justin Ross, though.
Oh, Pooh Shiesty back. I knew
you
it.
said it, Chris.
Yeah.
And I remember you said this. Andy Reid tells you how he feels about you on Sunday. If you don't play, whatever he says throughout the week, it does not matter. You know, whatever. And Justin Ross did not get playing time.
That's true.
You know, Pooh Shiesty, boy.
You talking about KT?
Listen,
you talking about MVS?
Listen. So they got Hollywood for the dirt, right? What you think Hollywood gonna ask for if he get anywhere remotely close to that level of success this year? Going into
next, he will not be a Kansas. And if it's too much, he will not be a Kansas City Chief.
He gonna ask the ball MVS Pooh Shiesty mask. He be like, let me borrow that mask quick.
And personally, I think the Chiefs know that.
Yeah, and I think
personally, I think the Chiefs know that
too.
I think the Chiefs know that. I think they're like, look, come on here, we'll get you paid. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they already set a precedent. They paid Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty got that money.
From Buffalo.
Who, Kadarius?
No, fool. How much was he getting paid last year?
$11 million.
Pooh Shiesty got paid last year for 21 fucking catches. Oh, you gonna fucking get me started. If that
hey, why was he on
Monday?
What's the over under for Kadarius Toney? 150?
No, it's not even that.
150 what? Chicken soul?
Over under how many games he played? 1.5. That's the over under.
How many pieces of mail he delivering? Kadarius Toney doing what?
How many times is he gonna pop out in the shiesty?
How many CDs he selling? Yeah, he's selling 100 CDs. It's the effect of defense can only pick one poison. Okay. You right.
And
We'll
then
see.
Right.
you have Pacheco into that mix too. This team, let's be honest, this is a way better team than we had last year.
Of course.
I'm willing to say that. Offensively, at least. Now, defensively, you lost a few pieces, but
Is Hollywood as dynamic as Reek was?
Nobody's Tyreek. Let's get that out of the mouth.
Because
But
I mean,
but I do think I do think Hollywood Brown. Okay, so Tyreek's way up here.
yeah,
I think Hollywood's like in the middle somewhere.
he's like a
okay,
lesser version.
So
yeah,
go back
he's
to
like
Pat's,
diet.
So go back to Pat's first year.
Yeah.
His first full year. Like, it wasn't bombs away at first. It was a lot of short underneath that Reek was breaking and jet sweeps and
Right.
little quick slants and stuff like that to get the party going. Like, so I mean, if that's kind of how they build that camaraderie and that relationship, you know what I mean? Like, or does it just let's just come out the gate swinging? You know what I'm saying? Let's try to find this.
And look, like I said, I know Andy Reid says a lot of shit that half of that shit is fluff.
He does,
but
and so does Mahomes.
I do think they're putting the emphasis on throwing the football down the field because I think they get bored.
No, and they have talked about that for the last, since last year or even before last year.
But do you have the protection up front from the left side to allow him to
find that out?
Now that's
gonna
fair.
find out. We're gonna find out.
All right, I'm gonna shut up then.
No, that's fair. And the Chiefs, they're sitting on some cap space right now. Obviously you could be looking to use that for, like Chris said, the Bolton extension. But even if you was to extend Bolton, it would not cost. Anyways, so I think there's a chance you bring in
breaking up.
Yeah, you're in a blender, Ty.
Yeah, you break it up, Ty. But the left side is definitely a question mark. That's definitely a question mark. Is it going to be Kingsley? Is it going to be one? I think they say Kingsley has the inside track right now on winning that job, but we'll see. We'll see if they bring a veteran in like a David Bakhtiari or bring in a Donovan Smith or somebody like that. Then we'll see. All right. Last one. Last two. Over under Chris Jones 10.5 sacks.
I'll go over, just for the sake of the argument. Yeah, I'm gonna go
too. I think he gets 17 this year.
Whoa.
Yep. That's right.
Okay. I hope, but I'm okay if it's only 12.5.
Here's where my thing is with Chris Jones. See, last year was one of those years where he was trying to get his money.
I get that.
He wasn't. He didn't build a camaraderie with his team yet. The new teammates, some of the old ones. He wasn't out there with his guys. Even though Chris Jones don't need training camp, we've seen that. We saw that he really didn't need training camp because the first game he came back, he made plays when we needed him to make plays. But the attrition of the year, you could tell it took a toll on him. You know what I'm saying? There were some games where he was kind of tired.
Yeah.
Now he's going to training camp. And that's what Andy Reid's training camp does. Get you ready for the season. That's why they say it's one of the hardest training camps because it's like 100 million plays that they just run. They just go.
But do you need 17.5? Do you need 17.5 to feel good? I'm asking
no, I
you.
don't. No, like I said before, if he had 12 to 13, I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. Okay. But I'm just saying, I think that he's going to have a monster season. Over under Trent McDuffie, 2.5 interceptions.
Under. I think he only get one.
I think he gets 2. So I'll go under you. 2.
I don't think they're gonna fuck with him.
I don't think they're gonna throw that much to him.
I don't think teams are gonna fuck with him. I think they're gonna go other places until one of those dudes can show consistency at them other positions. Like Why does a quarterback need to go and trifle with McDuffie when they don't have to?
5. What? I'm talking about Brian. Skill shit.
Wait, what was so what?
Over
Wait, what was it?
under Trent McDuffie interception 2.5.
I want to go over because you know I'm a big Trent McDuffie fan myself, but I'm being realistic. Yeah, I think it's under because, like Clarence pretty much just said it. There, why go after a proven corner when there is guys on the field that are going to be somewhat unproven? Even though we've seen them have flashes, they're going to be somewhat unproven, especially compared to McDuffie. They're going to go after those guys first, and then unless those guys have if they have a really good first half of the season, then you could see that where they have to just go after the best matchup, no matter if it's McDuffie, if they feel like that's the best matchup for them. But at first, there's definitely going to be a lot of they're going to be picking on Josh Williams and Jalen Watson and probably even the other dude we mentioned earlier. I already forgot his name.
Joshua Williams.
Yeah.
Or Najee Johnson.
Najee Johnson, yeah.
Oh, Klay Thompson is a Dallas Maverick.
Oh, he is?
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
He got paid too. 3 years, $50 million.
I like that for him. I like
they
that.
Need a shooter like him.
They needed a shooter. They lost some guys, but they replaced that. So McDuffie ain't proven on that. Now that is fair. I actually do agree with that because Snead, if you look at it last year, Snead was the one, that was guarding every team's number one wide receiver. We happened to play a lot of teams that had really good number twos that McDuffie were matching up with. So
McDuffie, he was an all-pro at the slot. So
who got the strip on Reek in Germany?
Trent McDuffie.
Okay. Fair enough. Some things and some people you just don't trifle with.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a dog. Don't get it twisted.
Maybe week 1, week 2, maybe by week 3 or 4, they're like, no, don't go over there in that neighborhood. They rob people over there. Don't you take your ass down that street. You go down there, they take your draws too now. They rob. They take everything over there on that block. Don't you carry your ass over there. Day or night. Don't go down that road. So they go down that road, they get robbed. They take draws, everything over there. I don't go down that street. I know what's down there. I don't go down that road. I know it's locked.
Stay away from over there. You probably want robbing their drawers. What are you talking about? You probably want robbing their drawers.
Oh man,
you the ringleader, man.
What?
Go down there. You an unk down there.
Fire. Okay. You right. I'm just asking a question, Joe. That's all. I was curious. Well, I can't ask no question, Joe. Hell.
Joe.
Just be curious, man.
Joe. You know how Joe is, man. All right, fellas, man. Another great show, man. Glad to have you guys back.
It's good. It's good to be back with the squad. It's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Feels like we're holding.
Hey, man, don't go down that street now.
Joe, never mind. You definitely want robbing people with their drawers and stuff. Fruit of Maloons, Hanes, whatever.
Yeah. And sell all that. Get some more Johnny.
Y'all crazy. All right. How you doing, Last Dragon?
Tell it, Joe.
Yeah, crazy. Ty don't know what that is. He too young for that, man. Y'all making references he ain't ready for, man.
Nah, he don't know about that yet. We'll get that on.
Go watch The Last Dragon, Ty, and then get back to it. That's your homework assignment. Go watch The Last Dragon. All right, y'all. Let's give it. I gotta give a shout out to a sponsor, Glitch Energy Drink. Glitch Energy Drink offers a wide range of delicious flavors suited for everyone's taste preferences, whether you're into fruity flavors like Maui Punch and Cherry Bomb or prefer something unique like Blue Smurf and Grenades. There's something for everyone. Glitch Energy Drink is not only good for gamers and workout warriors, but also for everyday people who simply need a boost of energy. It's a healthy choice you can feel good about. You can find more information and purchase Glitch Energy Drink at glitchenergy.com. Once again, glitchenergy.com. Remember to use the promo code AHCPOD to get 10% off your purchase and start enjoying the benefits of this delicious and energizing drink. Shout out to Glitch Energy. Also, if you look down at the bottom, you see the link emqpodcast.com/locker-room. If you go to that link, you'll see the locker room access of all the podcasts is under the Every Morning Quarterback umbrella, whether it be Patriots, Jets one, 49ers one, and we got ours, Arrowhead Chief Podcast. Click on the banner. Look at all of our episodes from the recent to the past ones. Also, check out their YouTube channel. They talk about everything NFL league-wide. They talk about college football, and they give you betting tips on all sports throughout the week. So, shout out to everyone, the quarterback. Whatever streaming platform you use, whether it be Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, whatever you use to listen to your podcast, Arrowhead Cheap Podcast is available. So follow us. Also, first time watch on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification button. So when we go live on Monday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can jump in the lives like Joe and Brian and Country and talk about some of these chief topics with us. We want to hear your opinion on some of this stuff too. So, and Clarence can cuss you out if you have a bad opinion. So,
hey, I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I'm not going to cuss you out. I'm your brother.
But go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And whatever social media platform you use, whether it be Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Twitch, we're on all of them. Follow us. We'll follow you back because, Clarence, what is our motto?
We ain't Hollywood. Joe, go ahead. Where you at? There we go.
DJ N is handling some business. He can't pie right now. He can't pie right now. Shout out to the homie DJ. That's my guy. But yeah, follow us on all social media platforms. If you have a question or a topic that you want us to bring up that's Chiefs related or NFL related, hit us up in the DMs or hit us up email or hit us up in the mentions. You know what I'm saying? And if we like it, you know, it's within reason, we will bring it up and we will shout you out on the show because we want to show love to those who show love to us. You know what I'm saying? So go on, hit us up, man. All right, good people. Chiefs Kingdom. Until next time.